Welcome in to another Cracking the Whips video. And yes, I'm doing a voiceover because my mic decided to go Okay, so I've got a few little bits and pieces to show you. I've got my list. We're just going to get it on, and at the end I will show you your guys' whips and foes. But I have a couple of foes to show you and a couple of whips. So let's get the first one done. So the first whip, it's not crochet, but it's still yarny, so I'm going to show you it. I bought the pattern by a member, and yes, it is in blue, but it is not for me, it's actually for somebody else. But I have made use of the pattern and I am doing this. I need to do 24 more rounds and then I will have a beanie. Now this is a textured beanie. I hope you can see the texture on there, just about, maybe. But yes, it will be a beanie, as I will demonstrate. Come on, demonstrate, woman, demonstrate. I don't know what you're talking about, just demonstrate. Ta-da! See? Height of fashion, right? Okay, anywho. So, yeah, 24 more rounds to go, and then closing it up. The pattern for this will be down below. It is called the Julia Beanie by Michelle Rinsay. I may well have just completely messed that up. I am so sorry. But anywho, I am determined to get this finished, so this will be a faux on the next episode. Next, we have my is it my Amma blanket that I'm showing next? Squares. Yes. Okay, so this Amma blanket will need 48 squares. Each square is one of 5 designs, and I am completing the amount of squares I need for one design before I move on to the next design. And the design that I'm currently on needs 9 squares, and I have currently made 2. So only 7 more of this design to go. I'm really enjoying this overlay mosaic a lot. It's quite fulfilling, and I love the fact that I've learnt a new technique, which is all to do with the seam, which you can see up here, which is going diagonal. I learnt a new technique with that, and on the back of this one it's a little bit higgledy-piggledy, but it's still there. But yes, I am loving this. The Amacal squares are done. That will be ongoing for quite some time, so you'll probably see a couple more squares in the next episode. Let's put them over there. Next is for the Quiet Crochet whip. Now I wasn't able to do it this week because I was feeling pretty bad, feeling pretty tired and in a lot of pain, so I didn't get it done this week for Quiet Crochet. But I did sit there yesterday and I made a row, and then I ended up frogging it back and restarting it, and then I realised it wasn't me that had it wrong at all. The pattern was really badly written. There's so many bad bits in this pattern, unfortunately. But this Primavera shawl, you last saw it at this point. I have done this much now. So there's a little bit more to show. It's very, very nearly finished. I've been using Lion Brand Shawl in a Ball Mystical Mirage. This isn't something for me, this is for somebody else, and it is in the Crochet Now magazine issue 28. So yeah, this has been all trial and error, because there have been a couple of whoopsies in the pattern and I've had to rip it back, go back into it, redo, and kind of personalize it a little bit because the pattern is there, and I've had to, you know, go, okay, well, let's try and sort this out, and I've done it to a degree. So that's that. So my next whip is something I am doing with the Bug Brigade, the members. We are doing a cal together, also from the Crochet Now magazine. The Cozy Cables cushion is in issue 73 of Crochet Now. Yeah, there's me holding it up there. Let's just show you the actual thingy. So we have currently done a bit more. The last time you saw it, it was about that much, I think you saw. Well, now we have completed the front panel. So this is mine, made in Drops Alaska, which is 100% wool and silver. And there's the insert, which will be going into it as soon as the back panels are ready. I'm loving the texture of this. I've quite enjoyed the challenge. A couple of people have never done cables before, but us in the Cal clan, we're conquering and we're taking the challenge by the horns. This is the back top panel, which has the 2 buttonholes, as you can see. Now, of course, buttons. So yes, I wanted to get buttons that went well with this, and it took me a lot of searching, but I think I found a couple. So let's have a zoom in. Now these are pewter, and they have a little bit of shimmer shine and a little bit of glitz, and I absolutely love them. I'm quite chuffed. So yeah, they go with the cushion. I'm happy, and this should be a faux next time we get an episode, because we've done the top panel. We just need to do the bottom one without the buttonholes and then put it together, and it will be finito. So that's all my whips. Faux. Okay, so the first faux is what you saw last time, the poncho. I needed to put buttons on it. Well, now buttons are on it. It got finished. I'm quite pleased with it. So here we go. This is me in it, as you can tell. Ta-da, ta-da. I have worn it out about 6 times. The buttons are on. I have arm room. It's airy and then very warm. I have to say, it is very, very warm. But as much as I feel like I ought to be in a Western, I'm grateful for the fact that it's quite airy and I can move in it and my arms are free. So this is the poncho. Of course, everything will be linked down below. I have made another one of the amigurumi hearts. This is a green with kind of a lemony green. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but heck, I made it anyway. So there you go, there's another faux. Ta-da! While Beany is out of it, I can show you another faux, which is the cat bed, the pattern of which was bought by one of my subscribers. Thank you so much. I really didn't think she'd use it, but she is using it, and even while I'm doing this voiceover, she is snoring in it. I'm very, very pleased with it. It was quite painful. It is full of cat hair, but heck, it's a cat bed. But yes, a cat bed that is quite catty. I'm glad it worked up fairly quickly. She's using it, so I'm happy. So yeah, get it back on the chair before she comes back. Ta-da! I have one more faux to show you, and that is a hat and scarf set that I made for my pharmaceutical delivery guy's daughter. I had made his, which I showed you in the last episode, and his daughter nabbed it for the day when they went out to watch a football match. She loved it a lot, so it was a case of, well, let me know her favourite colour and I'll see what I can do. And he told me it was red and that's why it's all blown out. Oh my gosh. So I would say it's the Divine pattern, but that's not strictly true, because the Divine pattern has only been around for a couple of years, and the original, which I cannot remember the flipping name of, is over 5 years old. I just can't remember the name of it, but the hat is that pattern, and the scarf itself is the Seashell Infinity Scarf by Jonah Martinez. I'm probably messing that right up. Now, infinity scarf, yes, it's an infinity scarf, but I had to make it into a scarf, so I had to adjust the pattern in a few different ways. It is very curly, and even in the pattern it says it curls up on itself quite a bit. Do this and it will be sorted. I did that, it didn't get sorted. It did to a degree, but still, it was, it all got sorted. It's fine. So the hat and scarf set, yes, they're blown out, and I did do what people suggested. People gave me suggestions as to lighting, whether to use a flash, whether not to use natural lighting, to be on level with the item, to do it from the side, to do it in front, to do it below, to do it slightly above. It didn't matter how I did this, pictures, this is what happened. This is what happened. Now I'm going to show you a couple of past foes. The first of which you may see here and there when I'm doing at the start of a tutorial or at the start of a review. Another pattern from a Crochet Now magazine. I can't recall which issue it was, so I'm sorry. But this is a sunflower mandala, which I absolutely loved doing. It was my very first. I have made a couple since. The yarn that I used was Darren Moore Studio DK, which was a happy mail that I was sent by It's Raining Yarn, Russell, and I really, really enjoyed doing this. This is a form of mosaic. It's overlay. No, it's not supposed to be a top. It is a mandala, so there is that. Really love it. And then instead of showing you one item, I wanted to show you a whole bunch of items because they're all the same thing. You might not class it as crochet, but I do. I used a hook, I crocheted these, they can be knitted, heck, they can even be done with your fingers. So let's show you those, and thankfully I had help from a subscriber to get all of well, most of the yarns, and I absolutely love this flipping stuff. A lot of people might have one or two of these in their stash and be like, well, what the heck am I going to use this for? I'll have it, I'll take it, I don't care about my yarn ban, bring it on. I absolutely adore this stuff, can't get enough of it. I've highlighted one that I found that I haven't got yet, which is blue with a fur trim. I love it, but shut up, Lisa. Show the foe. Do you see the glitz? You see, this is the yarn. It kind of looks like fishnet stockings. Ta-da! But this is it. This is what the stuff is, and it makes these wonderful little flouncy scarves. And I absolutely love them. Do I wear them? Yes. Have I worn all of them? No, not yet. Do I wear them all the time? No. But each one has its own occasion. So that first one you saw lots of rainbow glitz on black. This is a lovely cream which is nice and plain and simple, a little bit like my brain. Then we have a teal. Now the teal has got navy and teal and little sequins, little tiny sequins on that very edge, just to give it a little bit of sparkle, and I like a little bit of sparkle. My magpie adores a little bit of sparkle. And I know I'm not modelling these the best way I can, I know that. So here we have a cream fawn fudge with golden sequins on the very edge, and there's cream in there too. I kind of wanted to call this Muddy Puddle, the darkest brown on this, which would make it sound really horrible, and it's a much nicer brown than that. So this is a very glitzy throughout lavender lilac blue. There's 3 different shades in this. It is glitzy throughout, and I absolutely love this one. Yes, there's a little bit more purple than blue in there, but I think it sets it off so nicely. Again, I love it, I love it, I love it. We have another blue one. This one is navy and teal with a little bit of turquoise in it. It does have a little bit of silver glitz running along the very edge, but the rest of it has no glitz in it whatsoever. It is different to the other one, but I think this is the one that I've worn the most. I love it. Height of fashion. Yes, yes, yes. And a second one which is very similar to the first creamy white one, where I explained it as Muddy Puddle, but it's not. It's white, it's brown, it's fawn, and it has a very slight silvery thread running through the very edge of it. Nice and simple and lacy looking, and heck, I could even turn it into a ruff. And all of these live in a bag that was made by Dragon Bee Crochet, who will be up a little bit later. She made the bag for me and sent it to me as a happy mail. But now it is over to you guys. First off, we have Perp, aka Knitting Purple. She has made a start on the Marzana sweater by Tinderbox, which is a paid for pattern from Ravelry, using King Cole Big Value Chunky and an 8mm hook. She has made modifications and finished it, because she did struggle with the sleeves. They didn't look right, so she had to adjust things, and she has done some decreasing every 2 rows from the elbow instead of all around the cuff where the pattern states, and she's added a little bit of extra length to the body as well. Next we have Perp's Cal Clan cushion, also made in a silvery colour, which is actually called silver. It is Signet Aran that she has used, and here you can see that she has done the front panel and the top of the back panel as well. Then we have another whip of a vanilla toe-up sock with a Fleagle heel and a 2.5mm needle. And she has used West Yorkshire Spinners Sparkle. Sparkle! You know I like my sparkle. And that is a 4-ply, and it's in the colour Vintage Tinsel. Then she has started the hexagon baby blanket, which is a tutorial by Cinnamon Stitches, using a 4mm hook and Signet DK in buttercream and also linen. And she is joining as she goes. Another whip. Look at this with the hanky marker. Well done for the advertising, Perp. Thank you very much. She is using Marianne Mel's pattern of the Babbity Toddler and Baby hat, using 4mm needles and a mystery DK that she got from the charity shop. No ball band, but she's making the most of it anyway. And you saw it in the last episode. We have a very pink. It's a granny blanket. 6x6 squares, each square having 9 rounds. And she's joining as she goes, just like she did with the hexagon blanket. The finished size of this is 43 inches. She started it on the 3rd of February and she finished it on the 3rd of March. I mean, well done, Miss Perp. 1 month, start to finish, done and dusted. Well done. And her last whip, which I'm sure will be a faux very shortly. She has started a chunky hat. Now this is a basic bulky beanie by Heather Tucker. And she's adding some texture with bamboo stitch from one of Springles. Miss Springles! Spring the Fibre Enthusiasts tutorial. And look, she's using another one of my stitch markers. Well, heck, Knitting Purple, thank you so much for the advertising. For those people who don't know, I do have an Etsy store, which is linked down below between all the hearts. If you are willing to go and have a nosy, I would very, very much appreciate it. Stitch markers, crochet items and other things to come, and every weekend I'm putting on new items, so please go and have a nosy. Thank you Perp. Next we have Antoinette from 2OG's Hooking and Stitching Island Style. She was not happy with doing crochet cables, and she frogged and she frogged and she frogged, but look ho, here she goes. She has done her front panel. All it needs is to think it's just back and front post crochet work. That's it. Just a back post here, 4 front posts there, 2 back posts there. You're done. And she has done it, and very well done, Miss Antoinette. Pat on the back for you. Now Miss Doris Artman has finished her father's scarf. You saw it in the last episode as a whip. It is done and she's proudly modelling it, and I bet it has brought a smile to his face. Very well done, Miss Doris. Lisa, wow, now Dragon Bee Crochet. She has wanted to show off her daughter's work. Now you're looking at a cartoon right now, because her daughter, without a pattern, without a tutorial, is doing by sight only, is making a cardigan based on this cartoon. And here it is. Absolutely amazing to have such a brain to do that. My brain refuses. But Lisa's daughter has been winging it, and boy is she doing well. So very, very well done to you. As for Lisa herself, well, she volunteered to do something for somebody else, and she has been given this box full of squares that need to be edged and sewn together. Now most of the squares are knitted, but she will be crocheting the edges and putting them together, and that's going to keep her busy for a little while, I'm sure. Next we have Zara. Now she has started a bag-a-day crochet shawl. It is called the Crystal Blue Sensation number 567, and she's using Hobie Dahlia colour number 2 and a 4.25mm hook. She is well on the way with this, and I just want to go up and stroke it because I'm loving the texture. She is also making some plain vanilla socks, or some ankle socks to be precise. She's using 50% merino, 50% lyocell, yarn bee, colourway indigo desert, and 2.5mm knitting needles. And she does both socks together, as you can see, which is actually the right way to do it if you want to get them the same. So well done, Zara. And this is Miss Zara's entry so far for the Cozy Cable cushion. Front panel is finito, and the back panel, and she has been using the same size hook as all of us, which is a 5mm, and she's using a Caron £1 in Limeade. Next we have Snaily, aka Snail Mum, crafty Snail Mum. Now she has made Spring the Fibre Enthusiast's Turbulent Skies shawl, so there's another plug for Springles. And with the leftover sock yarn that she had from that, she has made a virus shawl and used a 4mm hook. She is also conquering a tassel cardigan, which you can see the pattern on the top here, but she's making a lot of changes, personal touches. She is making it her own. The pattern for anything, let's face it, is just a baseline. It's your make, go for it. And some new bed socks. She has never made socks before, and this is a brand new challenge for her, and she is going with it. Again, another tutorial from Spring the Fibre Enthusiast. She's using 2 strands of DK because she doesn't have any Aran at all at the moment, and a 5.5mm hook. She is learning as she goes, and I think she is doing fabulous. Well done, Snaily. Amarina. She's making the Cocoon Cardigan by Crystal at Bag-A-Day. She is using Hobie Colorina, which is 80% acrylic and 20% wool, and also Metallico, 2 different shades of Metallico, which is 70% polyamide, 21% acrylic, 9% merino wool. And also on her hook, she has the Berry Wrap by Pamela's Adoring Crochet, and she is using 2 different shades of Hobie Twister put together to create a lovely wrap. Next in our lineup is Lucy with her finished Cozy Cables cushion. She beat us all to it, and what a fantastic way to do so. It is finished, it is done, and I think she's as proud as Punch, as she ought to be. Well done, Lucy. And last but not least, we have Sharon's Sophie's Universe. Sharon Sutcliffe must have been climbing on the ceiling when she took this photo. She did that good. Well done, Sharon. I don't know how you did it, but well done. This is her Sophie's Universe, and she is using Scapier's Colour Crafter, which she got as a Sophie's Universe colour pack kit from the Wool Warehouse. She had started with a size 3mm hook, but she's moved up to a 3.5 as was recommended. And she said she is using slightly smaller hook as she didn't want her blanket to be too big. And her hubby has recently bought the book for her as well, which she is absolutely loving. Very, very nice work, Miss Sharon. Well done. And that is everything. Thank you so much to those who have sent me emails with their makes. Of course, I'm still collecting, ready for the next episode. So if you're willing, please email me at Lisa.LadybirD@googlemail.com. It's down below, underneath the details of these makes in this episode and my Etsy information. And if there's anything else, I can't think of it right now. But hopefully I will see you next time. So have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.